Go through a tutorial to help you out with this universal gravitation concept builder. There are labs we could have done. I had been planning to do one with light, brightness, and distance that shows an inverse square law, but I don't think I can set that up in my current condition, so we're going to try this instead. Hopefully I'll be back when you do this in class. So if you go to the concept builder, as per normal, you want to make sure that your name pops up down here. That way you're logged in and anything you do counts. It's not lost if you only get through, say, one activity at a time. There are 3 different activities. There'll be different points for each one. So if you end up doing, say, something like this one, you get more points than one of the lower ones. So I'll try to do one example for each level. So mass attraction here. Objects 1 and 2 attract each other with a gravitational force of 72 units. If mass 1 is halved and mass 2 is tripled, the new gravitational force would be, well, since only mass is changing, we don't need to worry about distance. So it would be 72 times 1/2 times 3, which is really times 1.5. That should be 108 units. You can either type that in or type it in from this keypad. So it'd be something like that. And remember, if you do miss one, you have to go back and get something very similar to it twice. So all these will deal with masses changing. So I'm going to get back to main menu. Yep, return to that. So the master level is diluted by distance. So in this case, objects 1 and 2 attract each other with 18 units. Now only the distance is changing. So if it is changed to 4 times the original value, what would this be? Well, hopefully you recognize that if it is going further, it would be a weaker force, but it's an inverse square rule. So it is 1 over 4 squared. So I'm going to have 18 divided by 4 squared. Actually, so I do not want that. So that is going to be 18 divided by 16 is 1 1/8. So I'm going to say 1.125. Hopefully I did that right. I did. So in this case, it's doubled, so I'm going to get that one wrong, and I'm going to say that, oh, that would be 18 units. It really should be 1/4 of 36. So I wanted to do one of these here where it's changed to 1/2. Now you might think if the distance is 1/2, would this get lower? No, because if it's half the distance, it's getting closer. So essentially you're dividing by 1/2 squared, which means you're dividing by 1/4, which means you're multiplying by 4. So 36 times 4 should be 144 units of force. Okay, I'm going to go back to the main menu, and I'm going to put those things together. So now we're looking at both of these things. So what I would do, if you watch the Ed puzzle video, we think of all the numbers starting off as being 1s, 1 times 1 times 1 over 1 squared, and then the final situation we put in the numbers for how they've changed. So 1 times 1 over 1 squared gave me 18 units. So here I've got 1/3 times 2 divided by 2 squared. So 1/3 times 2 is 2/3. 2/3 divided by 4 is, this isn't really a calculator, 2/3 divided by 4 would be, is that 2/12? So 1/6. 1/6 of this should be 3 units of force. Hope I did that math in my head right. I would do it on a calculator. Okay. So the same way here, 1 times 1 over 1 squared gave me 72 units. So this would be 2 times 3, or pardon me, 2 divided by 3 squared, because the distance is tripled. Object 1 mass is doubled. Object 2, it doesn't say what happens. So that's going to be multiplied by 2/9. So dividing by 9 would give me 8. Multiplying by 2, I think that gives me 16. Okay, so that's how you do those. Again, I would write them down on paper as you're doing these and write those general formula on how to handle things proportionally. Thanks, and hope this helps when you do the concept builder.